On the coast of Santa Catarina in southern Brazil, the death of a dog known as Orelha sparked national outrage. He was a stray animal, gentle and used to human presence. He posed no threat. What happened to him came to be investigated as an act of extreme cruelty. And according to the investigation, the main suspects are teenagers. Orelha lived in the beach area and was known by residents and visitors. He was a sociable dog who approached people in search of food and affection. That trust, according to investigators, ended in violence. What is being investigated? The civil police of Santa Catarina are investigating the case as animal abuse resulting in death, a crime under Brazilian law. The case came to light after videos and testimonies reached authorities. The footage has not been publicly released because it involves violence and minors, but it has been considered relevant to the investigation. According to a public statement by the chief of the Santa Catarina Civil Police, the dog was allegedly taken into the sea by a group of youths. He initially managed to escape but was caught again. Based on the account under investigation, the animal allegedly suffered beatings with pieces of wood and injuries caused by a sharp object. These elements are part of the investigative line regarding the cause of death. During the investigation, information emerged that the same teenagers may also be suspected of involvement in another case of animal abuse, in which a second dog was allegedly the target of an attempted drowning. If confirmed, this would indicate possible repeated violent behavior rather than an isolated act. With the case gaining attention, the investigation expanded to include suspicions of attempts to interfere with the inquiry. According to press reports, relatives of the teenagers under investigation were formally charged on suspicion of witness intimidation. The indictment indicates that the police authority understood there to be signs of attempts to influence testimonies or hinder the production of evidence. The case is now under review by the public prosecutor's office. Because they are adolescents, the suspects are not prosecuted under the regular criminal code. The case is handled under the Statute of the Child and Adolescent, ECA. The proceedings take place under judicial secrecy. Identities are not officially disclosed. If accountability is established, socio-educational measures may be applied, varying according to the severity of the act. Warning restitution for damages, community service supervised freedom, semi-liberty detention in a juvenile socio-educational facility, the most severe. Detention is used in cases of serious violence and represents deprivation of liberty within the juvenile system. It has a maximum duration of 3 years, with mandatory periodic reviews. Police reported that they believe the parents took 2 teenagers out of Brazil and that they are now in the United States. Another may have been taken to live with the relatives in Australia. However, the investigation continues in Brazil. The dog Orelha case shocked Brazil not only because of cruelty against a defenseless animal. It exposed a debate that resurfaces whenever extremely violent crimes involve adolescents. Does the current accountability model truly protect society? Today, adolescents who commit acts equivalent to heinous crimes, such as aggravated homicide, robbery resulting in death, sexual abuse, kidnapping for ransom, genocide, torture, drug trafficking, among others, are not tried as adults. They are subject to the ECA, which limits detention to a maximum of 3 years. After that, the records do not generate criminal history in adult life. In practice, a young person who committed an act of extreme violence can turn 18 and return to society formally as a first-time offender. This is the central point of growing criticism. A law created to protect developing youth may end up being seen as incapable of responding proportionally to crimes of extreme brutality. Public security experts point out that organized crime takes advantage of this gap, recruiting minors for violent activities because they know they will not face the same criminal penalties as adults. This creates a troubling cycle in which adolescents are used as instruments of crime, and, after measures that part of society considers lenient, many return to the same environment of violence. Critics say this can turn the system into a kind of factory for new juvenile offenders, where extremely serious acts receive a limited response, and the record disappears upon reaching adulthood. Other experts warn that simply toughening the law Without social policies and prevention may only push youths into a prison system dominated by criminal factions, worsening the problem. But leaving them without meaningful consequences can also serve as an incentive to commit crimes of all kinds with the expectation of impunity or light penalties. The dilemma is profound, but the question is growing both in the streets and in Congress. Should Brazil create legal mechanisms complementary to the ECA so that adolescents who commit heinous crimes receive harsher punishments? And should the record of such acts continue to have no impact on adult criminal life? The Orelha case will be decided by the courts, but the debate it sparked about the limits of Brazilian law is only just beginning.